Are you overloading your dishwasher? Have you ever had that time where you turn around and there just seems to be dishes everywhere? I mean, it's like, am I the only person here, right? So you turn around and you're so busy already. So let's just pile these dishes in here. Let's go ahead and knock this thing out. Let's get it over with? So you're loading up the dishwasher. You know you scraped off one or two plates, but you're just trying to get it done. All right. You threw in the soap and you got it going. You feel a little bit better about yourself. But when the cycle is done, when that phase is over, you look at the dishes and for some reason they're not clean. For some reason, every dish is just not clean. The forks now have dried items, just seems to be ingrained in it. The knives are not clean. The plates are definitely not clean. And the glass, where did this come from, right? So what do now? You look over at the sink, you look over on the counter, and some reason someone used another dish. They could have used the same cup they had, but someone used another dish. So you just decide to throw it in there. Now, you know it's already overloaded, but you just throw in an extra item or two and you say to yourself, you know what? Maybe if I put it on high, maybe if I put it on maximum, all right, level here, and add a little bit extra soap, right? Just a little bit extra, it'll get clean, okay? I don't feel like doing two loads. I just want to knock it out right now and get it over with, all right? So you go ahead and you do that. And what happens? What happens? Not only do they not get clean, but this time, you actually clog the drainage system. This time you messed up with the spray arms. But this time, one of those plastic items that they said was dishwasher safe fell off the top rack and now it fell into one of the heated coils because not only did you want to wash the dishes, but you want the steam dry and the heated dry. So now all of a sudden, this hard plastic is melted into your heating coil, causing a potential fire, right? So you had the smell. Now every dish smells like burnt plastic. Now the house, for some reason, smells like burnt plastic. But here's the thing. When you learn to change the channel, you learn to realize, you know what? Maybe I can't do a second load. You learn to realize maybe I shouldn't wait until the last moment. Maybe I shouldn't procrastinate on all of these dishes that I know that I have going on in my life. All these dishes that's right here in the sink. All these dishes that for some reason seem to be everywhere. For some reason, you find yourself walking past that one or two bowls that's in the sink by itself and say, I'll get to it later. For some reason, you seem to walk past that fork or that knife that's just sitting there. Oh, I'll just throw it in the dishwasher later. And before you know it, you turn around and there's dishes everywhere. So when we overload the dishwasher, now we are overwhelming the system and what it's designed for. We're overwhelming ourselves. The dishwasher can't wash everything. It can't wash plates that have a nice little gold trim around the outside. It can't wash wooden spoons. It can't wash certain coppers. But for some reason we think if I just throw it in the mix, just throw it in with everything else, I know I can just get it done. And if I just push it just a little more. See, there's a difference between being full, dishwasher being full, and you being overloaded. Are you overwhelming yourself with things when you know it's a small little tiny molehill, but you're waiting until it becomes a mountain? And when you address it, now we don't have the patience to do a second load. You see, we don't have the patience to break it down into a second load. We want it all done now. But we waited until this moment when we couldn't get it back. We waited for some reason until the moment where there was just enough. Now, what happens when we overload that dishwasher? What happens? Now all of a sudden we cause what's called a power surge. Okay, this is a power surge that's actually caused when it's overworking because it's not allowed to work properly. Okay, you're not allowing the natural flow of things to actually work properly. You're not allowing those seeds that you planted to actually germinate and to grow properly. Right? You're not allowing those plates that should have been scraped off earlier on. Okay, those food particles should not have been in there. So now all of a sudden we're looking and our drain is clogged. Okay, and we have a spike in the electrical system because what? We want to overload it. Now that spike is not just a spike because you had to run it twice and now you have to run it a third time. And now you have to run it to clean it. Then you have to reload it. So now time is taken away. Valuable time that you could have actually used right earlier if you would have done a second load. If you would have broke down that large amount that you purposely waited for in your subconscious mind. But when you learn to change the channel, you learn to say to yourself, you know what? I'm going to do a second load. I'm not going to overload this. I'm not going to cause a spike in a surge, which means that now I'm using more electricity. Now all of a sudden I'm doing a second and a third and a fourth load, causing myself to use more water. Now your water bill is higher. Now your electrical bill is higher. Now you wasted more time, more aggravation. Oh, someone used another dish. Now you're upset with someone else in the house. So my question to you is this. What are you waiting for? Why do you wait until the last minute to load up the dishwasher? And then when you do, you purposely, knowing that you could have did it earlier, you overload it. Knowing that you're taking more time out your day. Knowing that you're going to mess up with so many different functions in it, and you wonder why your dishwasher is not leaking. All of a sudden it's not working properly. All of a sudden you actually broke a couple of dishes in the cycle. So now we broke dishes, right? We burnt the coils, and we destroyed the dishwasher. On top of that, we have a higher bill. Now we're upset with everyone in the home. Now we're upset when we get the phone call. Now we're upset when we have to drive down the street. Now we're upset because someone cut us off. It's a ripple effect of items, all because you overloaded the dishwasher. So what do the dishes mean to you? Does this mean that room or your car or that project that you know that you should have been working on a long time ago, right? That grass that needs to get cut, that garage, right? That back bedroom, that child's room. What does it mean to you when it continues to pile up? When you look at it and every day for some reason you develop more anxiety and more feelings of disgust, and it reminds you of something else, and before you know it, I'm just tired. I need to go to bed, right? What does it mean to you? What do those dirty dishes mean to you? What's the dishwasher? What is the dishwasher? Is that you? Is it your mind? Are you taking on too much at one time? It's an overload. Do you feel like you're just about to explode? That for some reason you feel like something's about to happen because we're taking on too much? Is it your body? Are we overdoing it? Are we doing it as a stress release? But for some reason we just take it out on our body and we wonder why we end up injured. Is that it? Is it we're doing these extreme events, these extreme things because we're actually going through so much mentally that the only thing we know is the physical. So now we're trying to take it out on our physical body to punish ourselves. We tell others that we want to get better and get in better shape, but in reality, you're punishing yourself from something that's already overloaded on your mind. So we think that we can just do a transference of emotions and switch from the mental over to the physical, and from the outside, it appears as if we're okay. Everyone thinks we're just losing weight and getting in shape. Everyone just thinks that we're, doing a ridiculous exercise that is just awesome. They just think that that's it. But in reality, we're so overloaded with those dirty dishes that we've allowed to accumulate that it starts to overwhelm us. As we learn to change the channel, we learn now to chop down the tree one small chop at a time. To knock out that overwhelming amount of dishes, one small dish at a time. Okay? Before you know it, you find yourself not even having to utilize the dishwasher. One small dish at a time. When it comes, you handle it immediately. We're not going to procrastinate anymore. We're not going to allow this stress to build up, this anxiety, which is going to lead to some form of depression, some other form. No, we're going to allow ourselves to develop good habits, good successful habits over a period of time with consistency. All right, so here it is. When you learn to change the channel, you learn that almost every problem in life is all about how you handle the dishes. It's all about how you handle the dishes and how you decide to load your dishwasher.